So we'll be going to straight into Fat Reaver against Pebble on Circuit Breaker. So spawning in the top right hand corner as our brown Terran, we have Pebble 444, and in the bottom left as our yellow Protoss we have none other than Fat Reaver, also known as Arc Times. Both notable players here. Of the two, I am not entirely sure who would be favored. I know Pebble's been playing Brood War for a long time. He's been around for, I don't know, since the at least the original D Leagues, so at least 2011, 2012. And I know he's improved to at least C-. And I think Arc Times is around that range too. So I guess it'll more come down to the play and how comfortable they are in each particular matchup. And either this replay is insanely long or the progress bar is efficiently covered up. And of course, since we have a lot of games to get through today, possibly as many as 15, there may be some 2xing depending on these situations, and possibly in the early game as well. So you guys hopefully can handle that, but we have a lot of games and I don't have the time to do like a, 8-hour cast or whatever if we had long games. Alright, let's see. We don't want that. We want that. It was a little bit loud, although I don't know how it is for you guys. I can check after this. So gateway for Fat Reaver, which is pretty normal, and Pebble getting his barracks, and he's going to go ahead and leave a spot, so he will be able to make a wall in. And the probe heading out to do a little bit of scouting. Gate and gas, pretty normal Protoss stuff up to this point. Of course, Arc Times has shown he's not afraid to play a little bit more aggressively. I think it was in a game we were watching yesterday where he went, what was it, Templar drop? DT drop? Proxied it, hit some really nice timings. So always a potential threat, especially just given the reputation. He is a Peruvian player, and Peruvians are a little bit notable for their very aggressive style of Brood War. So let's see, Pebble getting close to 100 gas. We should see a factory going down here fairly soon, as he's going to go ahead and scout to the bottom. And Arc Times is going to be rolling on up, but he is going to be met with a wall. So that probe should not be able to get in. Nope. Freaking out a little bit on the ramp, and he can come annoy this SCV just a little bit until the Marine pops, but that will put an end to that. And oh, that is an interesting wall, as the Marine spawns on the wrong side. But I believe the barracks is correctly placed so that the Marine can just go ahead and walk through without any problem. Oh, he can go through there? Interesting. Oh well. Looks like he will be fine, and there is a Zlot coming out across the map. And what do we have? We have the core almost done, so that might be 2 Zealots, but unfortunately it is cross spawns and a wall, so this Zealot should do absolutely nothing. Although, if he does decide to come down the ramp with these Marines, he'll need to be a little bit careful. Maybe he just wants to get a few hits off. Oh, he was not expecting that to be there, I don't think, since he did not micro back. I was wondering if he was coming down to get a few hits, but I think if he would have done that, he would have been watching it and immediately pulled back. But with a wall, he has no fear of that. We got a factory coming down. Pylon, this SCV should be a Dragoon popping to get rid of it shortly. And the Marines are again moving back down the ramp. Oh, can he sneak the probe by? No, he's going to target that down. Oh, he's got to move that Zealot back. Alright, we're okay. And he's going to run that Marine around, and the Zealot is going to walk on up to the ramp. And unless this is somehow open to a Zealot, this is not going to do anything. Yeah, so it's going to unfortunately be the end of this Zealot's life. Although he should pull these Marines back, which he is not doing. I think he's trying to keep his SCV alive and just not paying attention to that. So this Zealot is actually keeping the Marine count really low, which is fairly nice for Arc Times, because it'll mean there is no chance of FD pressure. And he is going, oh, he's going to go for a Factport Vulture Drop. So this will be very dangerous here and that definitely explains the wall in. But this will be very dangerous for Arc Times. It's one of those builds where 4 Vultures with mines, if they get in your base and you are not in the correct position, the Vultures will absolutely slaughter the probes, and of course if your obs isn't out, they'll lay mines everywhere, and it just makes the defense an absolute nightmare. And if you're 100% sure your opponent is going to DT drop you, this is probably the best possible build you could do against them. Because it just absolutely wrecks that build. You lay a few mines, you're safe against DTs, and then you drop the vultures off in their base, and there's just no way to defend a whole bunch of vultures with a couple of DTs running around, and your dragoons will be like 1 or 2, no range, definitely won't have obs, just absolute nightmare. Oh, vulture slips in. Does he have mines? Oh, he's going to lay a mine, so this is already starting off annoying. He gets a hit on it, but unfortunately it's not enough, and now these probes are going to need to run away, I think. Otherwise, he's going to have to eat the damage, so the Dragoon does eat the mine. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, losing the Dragoon. He could have killed the one mine that he'd already hit once, but to go for that mine was just not going to be an option. 2 Dragoons causing a little bit of trouble here for the floating barracks, but nothing of serious concern, although this Vulture is starting to do some serious damage to the probe count right now of Arctimes, who is basically not reacting to it. It's like he didn't want to transfer away his probes. How many kills are they going to get? Looks like it's going to get stopped at 8 kills. He's got a tank out for safety, and now the dropship with 3 vultures in it. And I have a feeling this is going to be absolutely devastating for Arctimes, as unfortunately the last place you want to be against a vulture drop is microing 2 dragoons at Terran's front. You need these guys back at home. Good control though, but unfortunately I think it is going to have him a little bit out of position. Let's see how quickly he reacts. Unfortunately for Pebble, a little slow to drop. Going to give Arctimes a little more time to react. He's going to leave 1 there. Oh, I'd like to see him lay more mines. That's part of the strength of this build, is just getting the mines everywhere and making it an absolute nightmare for Protoss. This might get held okay though, because he just doesn't have the mines down right now. 1 vulture's already been cleaned up there, no mine back at that base. So yeah, this is not working out at all for Pebble. Unfortunate there. That should have been way more damaging. I can't help but feel Arctimes just dodged a bullet. I mean, if Pebble had immediately started laying mines and played that a little bit better, Arctimes would have taken huge losses. But as it is now, the dropship gets cleaned up. Arctimes loses only 2 probes, and he's looking alright. I mean, Pebble has his expansion almost up, which is nice. And Arctimes would be in a fantastic spot if he wouldn't have initially lost those 7 or 8 workers. But that was quite a few to lose to that first vulture, just sitting there eating vulture shot after vulture shot after vulture shot. Transfer of SCVs. Adding 2 more factories, and then we'll have to see where he wants to go from here. Pebble, I think, tends to play relatively standard, generally a macro Terran. And given the cross positions, he probably wouldn't go for a timing attack. I don't think he did quite enough damage to feel absolutely confident, hey, I can just make 5 or 6 facts, walk across the map, and win. So I think we'll just see a macro game from him, but you never know. He's getting another dropship, which is also going to weaken the idea of a timing. So it's either going to be like 2 base dedicated harass, or getting a 3rd base. I would be very surprised at this point to see him try to go for any sort of timing, because I think it's unlikely he'll have one. I mean, unless Arctimes like double expands and does nothing else. We've got a Citadel coming down, so he's going to go ahead and start his tech. Still on just 2 gateways, though. And we've got a probe going out. Looks like he wants to clear these mines out and take a 3rd base. Oh! Gotta be a little bit more careful. Needs to get that obs over there with his Dragoon. Nice obs here, getting full intel about the factory count. And I do like Pebble's placement. He's got a vulture there, or he's got mine there, vulture there, SCV there, so he can see all the possible places Arctimes expands would expand to. All the normal expansions anyway. And the next dropship is out. Oh, only 2 vultures. It's not really that scary. Can still do damage if you totally botch it. But oh, that is a very fast speed upgrade here for Arctimes. Perhaps Arctimes not a big fan of babysitting obs with Dragoons and opting for really quick speed. But of course that delays your other tech and slightly lessens your unit count. So I think all else equal, I'd prefer to see speed a little bit slower, but if you really feel like you need that in the early game to control the goons, it's not the end of the world. And here comes our dropship to the bottom of the base. Pebble's still off those 3 factories. No sign of the next command center yet, and there is the dropship unloading, laying a couple mines there, but of course now it is spotted. But oh, are the Dragoons going to be in position? There are 2 in the main, so this should do very minimal damage, and Arctimes should be able to transition comfortably into his later game plan. Oh, he's going to lose a few gas workers there, but nice job shooting down those mines. And oh, can he get the dropship? No, definitely not. Vulture sneaking around back here, but it walks a little too close to the Dragoons, and he gets caught up in the mineral line going down. Getting weapon upgrade. Pebble does not seem to have an arm. Okay, he's got one armory, but not. Okay, just starting his first upgrade, so not a particularly fast army timing here for, or armory upgrade timing here for Pebble. Definitely won't be on 2-1 anytime soon. And sieging his way out, so I think we're going to see... Okay, so he's going to go ahead and make that third command center. Honestly, with him this far out and positioned, I would rather see the command center there just to save time, especially since he hasn't taken that quick of a CC. But this will be very safe, and it's not like Arctimes took an incredibly fast third himself. 4, 5. Going up to 6 gates. Templar Archives should see Arbiter Tech fairly soon. That's been Arctimes' choice in the past few games I have seen of him. And some Vultures running in right now. Goon's a little bit out of position. Should be able to pick off 4 or 5 probes here before these can get over and clean it up. But doing a little bit of drilling with the probes, trying to reduce that damage. And honestly, Pebble doesn't get too many. I think that might have just been 2. So well handled there by Arctimes. And he's got the obs there. He's going to see that command center floating over as Pebble adds some factories. Got the second armory. We are getting another dropship, so Pebble is definitely not done on the harass front, and should be starting that armor upgrade here soon. Should give him a pretty typical 1-0 and then 2-1 timing. He's about halfway to his armor upgrade. And Arctimes is going to go ahead and grab a 4th, so definitely working its way towards a sprawling macro game. Neither player giving any indication that they're intending to be aggressive here in the next few minutes. Just going to be a little bit of harass here and there. I think for Pebble and Arctimes is going to be happy to sit back, tech up, and defend. Get that gateway count up, 7-8 gateways, and then think about coming out on the map just a little bit more. Probably right now, given that Pebble's dropped a few times, he's just keeping everything a little closer to home. Observer coming out. And where is he going to go? Is he going to go down and clear this out, or is he just going to go minesweeping around the map looking for vultures? Quite a large group of vultures up there. Of course, one thing to be mindful about on this map is there are a few more paths compared to a map like Fighting Spirit that you can harass. You know, Fighting Spirit, you can just come across the natural bridges, and that's pretty much, you know, pylon wall, and that makes it the only access way to the third base. But on this map, you can get to the natural. You can come across these bridges. You can come over here. You can come through the third base. You got a lot of options. But I think right now Pebble is just checking for hidden bases. Of course, a little bit late on the timing for that. Honestly, if Arctimes had taken an early hidden base, it would long since have been up. I'm gonna come up here, clear the mines off the top of his little high ground pod. And let's see, Pebble has finished that armor upgrade, but he has finished that attack upgrade, started his armor upgrade, getting a vessel, so we should see him starting his second attack upgrade here soon as well. And the Dragoons and Vultures having a little bit of a conflict. Vultures need to get out of there, which they do. Loses a few. And still on 6 gates? Still on 6 gates. Some of that money going into setting up a few new bases. Needs a probe transfer over there, and now the Dragoons are just going to go ahead and chase the Vultures around and keep clearing those mines off of the middle of the map. Will he see these and clear them? No, actually it looks like now he's going to move up a lot of units. I think what he wants to do is stop Pebble from setting up this base over here, and he should have a pretty difficult time with that if Pebble brings a few more of his units over. I mean, he does have a nice little wall here. He's adding that, so this really shouldn't be able to do a whole lot of damage to Pebble right now, although he's bringing a lot more Zealots. Now, if he had a few Templar in there or something to recall over here as he did this, it would be a little bit more dangerous, but this is a reasonably solid wall right now. And, oh, okay, keeping that obs alive, still thinking about it. Let's see if he decides to commit to this. Okay, backing away. Gotta be careful. Scan almost allows that Observer to go down, but with speed it is away, and he's got 2 science vessels out. Now where is Protoss's Arbiter? Do we have another one, or is this the first one? So a little bit late on the Arbiter tech. He might only have 2 in his army, or when he maxes out, which is a little bit low. Oh, getting a big mine on Clump Zealots, but then does a nice job getting those Zealots out of the way, letting the Dragoons clear the mines. And it looks like Pebble is thinking about moving out here as he nears that first armor upgrade, so it's going to be like a 1-1 timing. Would definitely like to see him start that second attack upgrade. It's really those 3-2 and 3-3 upgrades that make the Terran army get so strong and cost efficient. And let's see if he gets some mines out here in front of this army. It's a little bit exposed right now, not too many mines laying down, so arc times will be free to just attack in here. You can see arc times is setting up. Should have a pretty nice arc, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and pull the trigger, and Pebble is out of position. No mines here, not sieged up. I'm a little bit concerned for his army, but arc times does not have the confidence right now to go for it and decides to pull back. So more just a little scare on the for both players. These Goliaths are trying to get over to get the obs. I don't think they have range yet. Is he upgrading anything? Appears not. Let's see. No, they do not have range yet. That is not shooting like it should. See how long it takes Pebble to notice that and actually get Goliath range. Arctime's starting a 5th base. The one thing I would like to see him get fairly soon is another main, so he can start adding gateways in there. And just generally upping the gateway count. It looks like he's up to, I don't know, 8 or 9 now. And we're going to have another engagement, so here we go. Pebble again, he's got a bit of a setup, but kind of in a line. Not very many mines, but the arc here for arc times is not that great. So this might trade fairly evenly, and I think he's got enough to push through here, but he's definitely going to lose most of what he has. But he will go ahead and get rid of Pebble's army in the middle, reducing that tank count down and cleaning out those vultures. With just Dragoons left, though, there will not be an option to continue pushing, and I think Pebble's just going to come out here, siege up, and arc times will then need to pull back, although it looks like he's going to force the issue a little bit. Oh, whoa. That mine goes long distance chasing. And we've got a little drop over here, getting just a couple kills as that tank is taken out, and now Zealots arrive to clean that up. Pebble holds on to his position here in the middle of the map, or on the side of the map. We might have a recall coming in right now, Arbiter. Recall! This recall could be pretty good, although it's a bit small. Oh, there's only a few units left. Now Pebble's got to decide what he's going to do. It looks like he's going to turn around and come back. Needs to unsiege a few tanks and bring them over to this side right here so he can get back to mining that base. Now it looks like he is going to go ahead and bring everything back to try to clean up this recall, bringing all of his vessels as well. No EMP going down that I can see, but this will easily get cleaned up. Fortunately for Pebble, that recall was not a super huge recall. Probe is saying hi. I think he's going to start attacking the turret, but if he attacks the SCV, he's going to lose that. Actually, wait. Maybe one probe is already... No, one probe hasn't died, but the probe should win this fight, right? Yeah. Now he's going to just go to work on the turret. 5th base is up. No probes transferred quite yet. We can see Pebble now working on those 2-2 upgrades, which it looks like he'll have in time for his next push out. And one thing I will say is Arctimes is doing a very nice job keeping the center of the map cleared out of mines. Pebble doesn't have a whole lot on the map, so Arctimes is pretty much free to walk wherever he wants, and of course that makes it a little bit more difficult for Pebble to keep tabs on where Protoss is and really position his own army effectively. And this is a small army coming across here from Pebble, who is nowhere near maxed out. Arctimes should be pretty close to it. But I don't know. They should be aware of each other. Now he definitely is with that obs. So it looks like he wants to go ahead and try the counterattack, which is a risky move here. It'd be nice if there were a few more mines, but it looks like he's already made a hole in that. Those Zealots going down fast, but definitely going to need to get more units over there, and it looks like Pebble, again, is going to opt to turn around and come defend, but this time Arctimes would have a good chance to snipe the CC if he wants, but he might also get sandwiched in here a little bit. Nice positioning on the top of this ramp. These Zealots are just getting shredded by these vultures, as it is buying time for the Pebble's army, for the rest of Pebble's army to claw its way back into place, but a big reinforcement here from Arctime. Some of these tanks probably need to be sieged up, but unfortunately Pebble's just sitting around all clumped up. Down goes that one. Down goes the Templar. But now these goons and a reinforcement of Zealots. Good macro here from Arctimes. And unfortunately, Pebble not being sieged up is kind of out of position. Great D-Matrix, though, tricking all those Zealots. And now down to just goons. I think Arctimes will need to pull back. It looks like he's going to force the issue, but a bit of an overextension here. But he will get out of there, keeping a few Dragoons intact. Unfortunately, he did not snipe the command center, although a lot of mining time certainly was lost there. In the meantime, Pebble doing a little bit of harass down here on the bottom of the map, putting a cannon in a strange spot all the way down there. I don't know if he's just trying to prevent a drop here or what, but that is an interesting cannon placement. And one strong Goliath just hanging out. So got that 2-2, no sign of 3-2. Oh, okay, he's starting his third attack. Will he start his third armor? Maybe not. Oh, what is this? This is weird. That is hilarious. He's just gonna run a few SCV blocks the ramp. No, not quite. Might get a tank out of it, but I don't know if that was really worth it to just run a few speed seals in. Sure, it's a bit annoying, but it's not gonna do any damage at all. Could just send like 1 or 2 vultures up to kill it. Here we go. Fix that off. Obs does see that Pebble is going to try to start expanding over here to the right side of the map. And the real question is, where does Pebble go from here? He definitely needs to get SCVs over here, stabilize on this side, get his wall back up, and then decide how he wants to play this game. He's got options. He could, especially with Arctimes posturing like he's going to take a base over here, he could just try to crawl around this side, which is pretty strong, because you can just crawl over to here, start sieging this Nexus down, and just kind of crawl your way to getting your half of the map. And if Protoss expands there, that's kind of hard to deal with. But it looks like from an expansion side of things, Pebble wants to go ahead and take the right-hand portion of the map, which means we should see his army pushing more down towards Arctime's 4th base or parking itself in a defensive setup outside of Pebble's 5th base. And if he does that, he will definitely need to get this a little more walled off, because right now Pebble is committing a ton of supply to defending this 4th base. A few Zealots running up. Oh, one Zealot actually gets in. He D-Matrix it in SCV. A lot of D-Matrix here from Pebble. Almost enough to make me wonder if he has a radiate. We got a recall going on over here at the same time, but Pebble fortunately was keeping a lot of units back, so this recall is not going to do a ton of damage, although that Arbiter in there uncontested is going to be pretty annoying. Observer picked off, and Pebble holds that very easily. Should throw down a couple turrets or something to at least deter Arbiters a bit more and not let this Arbiter just continue to pick off SCVs on its own. Arctimes with a lot of money. Okay, he is finally getting gateways at a different base, which is good since he has an absolute ton of money. No reason not to put down a bunch of gateways when you're that rich, so you can just go ahead and re-macro the second a battle happens. And now Pebble is moving out across the map. Oh, he's going to find a lot of Templar. He needs to throw down some storms. How is the target firing? He's getting a lot of them. Oh, that is actually a really great storm. Oh my god, huge storms. Pebble was so focused on getting the Templar, he didn't notice that his tanks were getting stormed. And now a reinforcement coming out from Arctime's mine going off, but it is still a little too much Terran trying to get down storms. Pebble just eating every storm. Army coming in from all sides and just trying to straighten no siege over Arctimes. Will he be able to do it? Yes, he's going to force Arctimes back across the bridges, but are there going to be enough units to actually go ahead and take out, although there's not much left at the 3rd base. I kind of doubt it. I feel like if Arctimes handles this well, he'll be fine. He is sneaking a few Dragoons over here, but I think there's sufficient defense. Pebble still needs more mines on the map, but just Dragoons against a few tanks is not that strong. Vultures are going to get in there and block a little bit, and that should get taken care of fairly easily. And meanwhile, Pebble is just sending small groups of units everywhere to try to take out Arctime's bases. He's got control of this high ground pod for right now. It looks like Arctimes wants to break this, get this off of his ramp. It is able to shoot at his 3rd base, but is he sending enough units? I don't think he is. Actually, with that 2nd reinforcement, he most certainly is. Will clean up this side, but of course this base is down, and he's got gateways over here mined up, so he's only got this army he's working out of. And he's starting to get a little bit thin right now. He's about to be mining on one base. One base mined out, another one mining out, and the 3rd one really close to mining out, so that's going to leave him with only his bottom base, whereas Pebble still has 2 bases solidly mining. Running into some vultures. Not going to be able to pick off any more zealots, though, unless he's going to go ahead and scan to find them. Does free up his gateways, and now he's going to swing around again to the 4th base. But unfortunately for him, it is a zealot-heavy group, and there are a ton of vultures, a ton of mines there, so this will be another situation where probably he can't get a whole lot done. Should be at 3-2 now? Yeah, 3-2. No 3-3 yet. And Arctime's just going to go ahead and re-expand it to the 5th base here. He should go ahead and take his 6th base, though. I mean, he's already got gateways up there. No reason not to be in control of that base. Alright, and running zealots into the minefield, trying to split them out and drag them. Oh, his vultures actually got a little... Oh, if that would have been in conjunction with a recall, which I think he was going for, that would have been a really strong attack. Very fortunate there for Pebble that the recall does not go off, especially since his army is all the way on the other side of the map here, pushing down towards the other bases. Pebble needs to bring some units over. He's doing that, but Arctimes is sending a large reinforcement up there, really doing his best to shut down the 4th, but has just not quite been able to do that, and of course is for sure going to lose his 5th base. And with all of his army heading up this way, that is going to put his 4th base and his last mining base in extreme difficulty as well. Down to just Dragoons. A lot more tanks coming over. I think he's going to save this base. Goons, if they target fire it down, they could get it, but he is not currently doing that. And tanks are coming, but with the SCVs transferred away, it looks like he is going to get Pebble's base. However, I think he's going to be trading 2 bases for just 1. So in the end, this might not be the greatest of trade for Arctimes. The command center is down, though, which reduces Pebble's income to just 1 mining base. Similar situation here to Arctimes. And Pebble, right next to Arctimes units, just doesn't care. Just going to throw down a command center. Whenever Arctimes feels like noticing, he will certainly kill that off. And all the units dying at the base of the ramp. This base mines out, and there is just not going to be any income left here for Arctimes, although with a relatively large bank, I'm sure he can keep playing this game for a couple minutes more. So yeah, these Dragoons are incidentally shooting at this command center, but I think in the midst of all the chaos, Arctimes is not readily aware of that. Oh, we have a small recall here. This is a very nice recall. This is Pebble's last mining location. Pure Zealots is going to get in and cause a lot of problems for the SCVs. Turret is about to fall, and then the Zealots are going to go ahead and turn on the SCVs. Pebble should siege some tanks here and start dealing with this, because this is his last income, and this could switch the game around a little bit. Pebble notices it now, getting those SCVs out of there. This command center is still sort of going up. I think Protoss has enough to kill this off if he doesn't botch anything, although with that reinforcement I take that back. So now neither player is mining, and Nexus is going up for Arctimes, and he is going to have some probes coming over there, but right now the income for both players is 0. Now Pebble's going to clear this out, land this, and this will give him the potential to go up to 3 bases quite quickly, provided that he has enough SCVs left over. I don't know exactly how many he's lost. And that is what you call some long distance mining. That is a ton of probes, long distance mining. He almost has enough probes that he can have like a steady stream of probes from a Nexus that's, you know, an 1/8 of the map away or whatever. Oh, we have another Arbiter. Oh, not enough energy to recall though. I think he wants to EMP it regardless. Will he find it? No, he's kind of going past it. Oh, that is another big thing. Just lay an EMP and then kill them all. He's got to be careful of these storms. Last time he ate a ton of them. Oh, he doesn't throw down EMP. I mean, I'm assuming he has EMP. He should just EMP all of these Templar. This is like such a beautiful cluster of Templar that he could just take right out. But I guess he's just going to back it up. Be happy to reestablish his advantage off of these bases, as Arctimes will soon bleed through his bank account. Holy Templar Batman. He has actually made so many Templar that he has reduced his gas low and his minerals are high, despite the fact that he's been mined out for a little while. Oh my god. That is a lot of fucking Templar. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That's like 8 Archons worth of Templar. That's like a late game PvZ army. Oh, okay, so he puts a scan down on the Templar. Is he going to do anything about this? A few more Templar coming up to join. Is he going to make Archons? Is he just going to leave them as Templar? What is his plan? Some kind of crazy storm recall? That might be it. He's a long way from being able to recall, though. He's got another 20 seconds, 30 seconds on that guy. It would be great if he just came over here and like put an EMP like right there and just nullified the entire thing. Alright, he's got enough energy. How closely is he watching this? Pretty damn closely. Here we go. Hopefully it's going to be a Templar recall. It is going to be a Templar recall. Literally recalling just the Templars. They don't even storm though. It's just like, okay, I'm going to recall Templar. And suddenly all of them storm. Holy shit. That was, I think, a misclick. I think the vultures might just kill all of the morphing Archons. He literally stormed with all of the Templars into one concentrated section, and meanwhile, having morphed these guys into Archons, he's trying to bust through here, but of course Archons are a little bit squishy. With an EMP, they become ridiculously squishy. And since he didn't actually storm anything of Pebbles, I don't think that recall really worked out for him. That just cost him a shit ton of gas, when he could have had a few more Arbiters or something like that. And oh, here comes a conga line of vultures from the high ground. They might just be able to take care of the cannons. They won't be seen yet. Probe coming up, and let's see how efficient Pebble is with the vultures. No army from Arctimes over here, who is focused, I think, on trying to break this base. But at the same time, he is getting his own base broken, and now he's going to scramble back into position. If only Pebble had a few more minefields, causing a huge problem. One cannon left to go. The probes are fighting, but oh, Pebble's got tanks over here, and for sure now Arctime's out of money. And there it is, the GG from Fat Reaver. Game 1 goes to Pebble. And now we'll see if there's a calendar thing up. So I can properly put it on the calendar. Good. Let's list it. Bingo, bingo, save, bingo. Alright, let's wait for it to appear and tell me that I have it hosted. Alright. Alright. Four slices of a large pizza. I wish I was dead. Yeah, I guess you can have that feeling. But it tastes so good while you're eating it. Alright, we're going to go into game 2 between these two players. Arctimes tries to battle back. Pebble tries to close out the series. Who will prevail? And it looks like Arctimes is elected to play on Overwatch, which I think is like a Blizzard game. So this game is actually not in Brood War. It's going to be in some card game. Isn't that what Overwatch? I don't even know. Like, I'm vaguely familiar with Overwatch, but I'm not exactly sure. Alright, I need to do something about this replay progress bar too. I'm probably going to switch to MCA launcher after this, so we don't know when the game is about to end anticlimactically. And again, a lot of games, so I'll probably be going through the early parts of the openings a bit on the quick side. Simply because we have a potential 15 games to be casted today. Gateway for Pebble, Barracks. We'll stop at any relevant deviations. Alright, when initial action is in danger of occurring, and then we'll go regular from there. Scouting SCV probe going out. Is that a wall? Nah, no. Oh, okay. The probe sneaks in. I think it took a lot. Oh, okay. No, it's going to get this scout around for a little bit. The SCV is just, I guess, saw 2 gateways and is going to go ahead and head home. Oh, nice probe dancing here by Arctimes. Juking the Zealot out. Pebble's like, I don't know which way to go. And now he can't leave, though. So he is condemned to death. And, okay, a little bit obnoxious. Pyloning the place of the machine shop. But I think with 2 Marines there and a wall and no Zealot coming, it's really not going to do anything. I guess he's going to have to lift his factory for half a second, which is a bit annoying. That was kind of cute. I like the fact that he waited till like the second Pebble lifted the factory and then canceled it. Like, psych. Oh wow, that is a very tight entrance. I guess there's another way you can go around. I don't know this map super well. It looks like there's a wide entrance to the natural and then a super narrow entrance to the natural. I think there's a base like over here somewhere and then one over in the corner, but it's been a while since I've watched the game. And oh, Pebble's... Oh, it is 2 gates, and I guess Pebble did see that with his SCV. This is actually a case where I would prefer to see him have Marines just on the ramp, because then that Dragoon would not have been a problem. He does have a bunker up, though, but I think having to build a bunker on the high ground is, like, really overkill defensive when you have a ramp. I mean, you could definitely just, you know, get the Marines onto the ramp, and then when the Dragoon walks up, he's shooting uphill, and he's going to take a bunch of damage before he can even see the Marines from vision. And, of course, if Arctimes goes back up here, he'll have to be careful, which he is. He's making sure he does not lead with that Dragoon. And the other problem, too, is because his bunker's on the high ground, it just makes getting downhill really awkward for Pebble, who should hopefully start a command center here fairly soon. Obviously, going to siege expand here against this 2-gate from Arctimes. Alright, so Dragoons have been softened up. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Arctimes is even pressing the issue at the ramp. I mean, Pebble's got a ramp bunker. You're not going to break that as Protoss unless you really think your Terran opponent is bad or about to AFK for some reason. Like, if you know your Terran opponent is, like, at the point where he's just, like, gotta take a dump or something, yeah, maybe it works. But outside of that, it's going to be difficult. So, Command Center started quite slow. I believe Siege Expand, you normally start your Command Center at, like, 21 supply. Honestly, it's a build that's pretty out of favor these days because FD is basically better in every way. In some sense, you could argue Siege Expand is ever so slightly safer, but even then, I don't know if I would agree with that because the mines from FD give you a lot more flexibility. You can place them out on the map, limit Protoss movement. It definitely gives you more options against DTs. So I don't even know if I'd really call it that much of a safer build. And there are a lot of goons out, so with just one tank... Oh, this is a mistake from Pebble. These goons should dive on this tank and kill it. He's thinking about it. Oh, actually, Pebble baited it out really good. So now this is suddenly good for Pebble unless he doesn't react quick enough to this. He does get back in the bunker, but these Dragoons can go up the ramp. And can Arctimes capitalize on this? The answer is definitely there's a good opportunity for it, but he's going to go ahead and siege here over by this bunker. But now these Dragoons with free range, they can swing around, they can get on the tanks, but it looks like Pebble is now pulling the SCVs pretty good. Dragoon's doing a nice job. He needs to target fire to the far Dragoons with his tank, though. Unfortunately, a splash blows it up, and just repair this. Please repair this with like 3 SCVs, and then finish off the Dragoon with the others. There we go. Saves the tank, loses the Dragoon, so all said and done, I don't know if that came out that great for Arctimes. I guess as Protoss, you're not going to be, you know, feeling all right. I mean, you did reduce his tank count to 1, even if it did cost you 6 Dragoons. I mean, that's not a great trade, but it's not like a, oh my god, I am in deep trouble kind of trade either. And some lost buying time, and Pebble did have to pull like 10 SCVs. Now he's got his NAT command center down. We should see a transfer to it here at some point. Where's the transfer? Second factory. Arctimes has his natural up, has just started mining from it. Adding down his robo and getting a citadel. So it's going to be some pretty fast tech here for Arctimes, who is going to be teching off of just 2 gateways. 3 Dragoons coming across the map. Oh, SCV is going to go around them. If by intent, then nice job by Pebble. If by chance, then hey, it's working out. We'll pile on over here. Possibly to spot for dropships, since Pebble was using dropships pretty frequently in the first game. He's going to see this pylon and be like, but nothing there. Instead, over here, 2 extra gateways. So, are we going to see really fast speed lots? Yeah, I was thinking that might happen. We'll allow some fast reinforcements here. Come charging in the natural. Although, if Pebble keeps it really walled off, that won't necessarily be super dangerous. Now, this won't be a tight wall to Zealots for sure, and definitely not the way it's positioned now. So this is one of those cases too where if you don't have mines out, and obviously with Siege Expand you're going to have less mines, you're a little more vulnerable to something like this if Pebble doesn't sniff out what's going on. And I assume it's going to be mostly zealots from this point. Definitely should be zealots from here. And I think we should see zealots from here. This should absolutely be his last pair of dragoons. Zealots will reinforce a lot faster. Leg speed's getting close to being done. And dragoons are just not very good at busting a walled natural. A bunch of speed zealots, though, can run through this opening and be on top of these 2 or 3 tanks in record time. So I would really like to see Pebble get some mines up, but of course he doesn't know this is happening, so, you know, I'd like to see it, but he doesn't know that, of course, that these gateways are here and that Arctimes is building a ton of zealots. So this will be a very dangerous bust attempt here from Arctimes. Speed is almost done. It is fortunate, I think, that he's leaving a few of these tanks unsieged. And honestly, at this point, it's going to all come down to the reaction time. If he reacts super quickly, gets a bunch of SCVs here, and can kind of block the zealots, he will be able to defend this. Will he get rid of the mine? So that's good. Alright, so now Arctimes is gathering, and he's going to go for it. Let's see if he can pull this off. Dragoons need to target fire down buildings. Wait, is that really tight? No, I was going to say the Zealots should be able to sneak through, but the Zealots are dying really fast here. This is not going well for Arctimes at all. He doesn't have very many Zealots, and now he absolutely needs to back off. That is held easily by Pebble. These guys didn't even participate in the fight, which doesn't help, but just not enough Zealots. You need like a control group, and you need to just be prepared to run them straight in there on top of the tanks. And unfortunately, it was sort of just an attack, and the goons were attacking the front, and now there's just not going to be enough zealots, I don't think, to make this work. And of course the bunker is there. Tanks should be targeted fire on the dragoons. A few more zealots are running in. Maybe there'll be enough to get it done in the second time. He does a better job running. Oh, but he moves away from the tanks. Big mistake there for Arctimes. Needs to focus on taking out the tanks. Pebble is getting some great repairs off on these tanks, though, but he is down to his last one. Vultures coming out of the factory. Although the unit count has been so reduced, I think these vultures are actually going to be okay, especially if Arctimes is reinforcing with zealots, which would be the normal choice here in this situation, given you're getting attacked by a bunch of vultures. And it looks like Pebble is again fine. Oh, that gateway's getting a little bit crazy with the queuing. We got some observers down here, which are great. But now Pebble should be able to stabilize. I mean, he's got 4 factories, and actually Fat Reaver just goes ahead and says GG. I'm not sure that was entirely necessary. Where's my reveal vision? Oh, it actually, you still see the outlines. But these gateways have disappeared, but these gateways haven't. That's weird. I mean, I realize he didn't have very good tech, but I don't know. I think GGing there was maybe a little premature. I mean, no doubt it's a bad position for Arctimes, but Pebble's only got 1 tank. He's on 2 bases. He's only got 1 tank. He doesn't have a 3rd. You know, it's not the end of the world. But nice win. A solid 2-0 there for Mr. Pebble. Or should I say Pebble 444? Okay, seems like most people are agreeing with me that the GG was way too soon. I thought so as well. And that is obviously a teaser game. So, I guess we're going to be going into Genji against N. Baker. N. Baker is a Zerg. Genji is... Oh, shit. That reminds me. I'm going to restart. Hopefully I still have MCA launcher stuff, because replay progress bars are sort of no-go. So let's see if I still have that MCA launcher program. There's MCA. Does it still run and do what it's supposed to for me? Alright, where are we at here? IC cup. Don't need window mode. I think, let's see, what's it under? Configured? No. It's under something, right? I thought there was a specific setting where you can pick what's going on. Is it in here? Yeah, hide replay bar. Okay, cool. Alright, here we go. Maybe. MCA launcher is thinking about it. Do I start? Do I not start? I didn't get a pop-up or anything, right? No. It's over here. Where's Starcraft? It's thinking. It's thinking hard. There we go. All right. Now we'll have no replay progress bar to worry about. Game 1, Genji against N. Baker on Circuit Breaker. So, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as our brown Zerg, we have N. Baker, who goes by Tyrant in-game. And on the right side, also as our teal Zerg, we have Genji. Oh, shoot. Okay. Alright, so this is N. Baker. We got drones, which is pretty much what we'd expect. 4-pool is usually not that great in ZVZ because most builds beat it. I mean, you'll beat 12 hatch, but... Oh, the chat thing still works, but I actually probably don't want the chat on right now. Shoot, I'll have to disable that after this game. They need like a /T DND. I don't think it works though. Yeah, I didn't think... Oh, that's like letting me chat to, to Twitch. I don't think there's a setting. I don't think I can do it from in-game. I do miss that aspect though, on 1.18. Although, when I move to the new place here in like 2 months, I will have my own internet for the first time, and I'll be able to configure it so I can host properly. It'll just chat. I bet it... Well, actually, that would be interesting, but it probably just chats to you guys. Yeah, I figured it would just chat to you guys. It was worth a shot. Yeah, I think you actually have to go turn it... Wait, well, we'll try it. We'll have some fun. Oh, nice. Nice. Someone knows what's up. Thanks, Starrhythm, or however you say it, Starrhythm. I didn't get a chance to fully read the name. You can do it this way. It is Starrhythm, I'm assuming. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the builds. Alright, so we're getting a... That was like the same time, gas and pool. Here for Genji with no Overlord. Or no, he's already made the Overlord. Never mind. And we got a hatch coming up. So that was a 12 hatch here from Tyrant. So I think he's going to be alright, just looking at the pool timings. Yeah, he's going to be fine. So this should be a pretty comfortable position for Tyrant to play from. Although fortunately for Genji, he is going to have that second hatchery. So he's not going to be like really down in larva count. He'll have a little bit faster gas, a little bit faster mutas, but not on any significant order. Not enough that he'll have like a dangerous window or whatever. Of course, Ling's being made. Neither player has scouted each other, so they've just got to open up with Lings. And it looks like Tyrant doing a good job here of saving his Lings, or saving his larvae, so he should be able to make 6 Lings as soon as this pool finishes. These two need these. Okay, all Lings. Good. Those should. Oh, actually, I guess he doesn't know where he is, so he's not going to be able to send the Lings directly across anyway. Going to send out 1 Ling to scout. Not comfortable enough to take all of them. Going to start getting his Ling speed. Actually, both players, interestingly enough, are going for Ling speed first. I can kind of understand that from Genji, but I'm surprised to see it from N. Baker, but perhaps N. Baker was worried about a more aggressive pool and just wanted to ensure that he would have the mobility to deal with, you know, something like a 9-pool speed or faster Ling speed aggressive build from Genji. And honestly, I don't really know too much about the skill of these players, but judging from what I've seen so far, I'm guessing both players are probably around C-. You know, everything seems to be working normally. They seem to have a handle on their builds. And layer timings for both are very, very similar. Genji is going to get a creep colony. I guess a little bit worried. I guess he has... Well, no, he's just now flying in, but he still doesn't know exactly what Tyrant has done. Be interesting to see if he goes through with that creep colony. Oh, it's already done. He doesn't have a choice. A little surprised to see him morph it to a Sunken that early, though. I mean, he has not seen Lings move out, but again, his Overlord did path in from this way. And now he's going to run here. Got a Speedling. Oh, so close to sneaking in. So close. Somehow that Ling is, like, surrounded and slips out. I don't know if you guys saw that over there. But he, like, just slips out. That was one of the slipperiest Lings, probably in StarCraft history. Gonna try to go in again. Can he get... Oh my gosh, this Ling is so slippery. I think it's gonna finally end its run, but oh man, it almost made it into that base on like 2 occasions. And will that prompt Genji to move across with some Lings? Yes, it absolutely will. Now, will Tyrant be ready? Right now, honestly, that is well over a group of Lings here for Genji. And for Tyrant, that is most definitely not a group of Lings, not 2 groups of Lings. He's making a lot, but he's going to need them to get down here. And with good control, Genji has a great opportunity right now. Will the micro be sufficient? It is a beautiful arc so far. And will there be enough for Genji? It is looking like the answer is yes. Tyrant is in big trouble right now. Everything going down. If he reinforces with Lings, I think this is going to be over for Tyrant right now. He just doesn't have the defense, and the Lings of Genji doing plenty of damage, forcing the Natural to evacuate. Will he continue with the reinforcements? It's just up to mechanics right now. Maybe Tyrant is going to hold this, though. Genji wasn't quite quick enough to get those Lings across, and got a little bit... Oh, now he's just going to try to run by with the Lings. He's given up on the idea of breaking him. So we'll see if he can get some drone kills with these Lings. He gets 1. Can he get more? Drones are obviously worth a lot in ZVZ. It's just going to be 1, so that is well held here. And of course, these... Oh, that's actually really concerning. Genji is pretty much going all in with this, because he has not started to Spire, and Muta are on the way, or should be on the way here shortly for N-Baker. So let's see, can he break him? N-Baker needs to be careful with his Ling position here. He's making a lot of Lings. He's trying to pick off a few drones, but I don't think drones are going to do it at this point. He really needs to be breaking him with how delayed his Spire is. Maybe he can throw down an Evo Chamber. I guess that's what he's going to go for. He is getting an Evo Chamber, so he's going to try to live that way. But has he done enough damage? And I am not sure about that. Supplies 25 against 15, so it's not looking like it. Obviously, his economy is going to be hurting badly. Anytime you have to make a couple spores when on an already frail economy, it is not going to help. And now, oh, Tyrant, be careful. I'm missing some opportunities to pick these Lings off, but at the same time, he will be sneaking around. There is our Lings blocking on the ramp, so we've got some action all over the place, and it's going to be a question of whose mechanics handle it a little bit better. These guys are just on straight move command. Muta out. Looks like he lost maybe a drone, maybe not one at all. And now the Lings are going to go for the Spire. They shouldn't be able to get it, and he notices the danger and is going to go ahead and pull them now. Oh, that actually weakened the Spire quite a bit, but it stays up. And 1 Muta out here for N-Baker. He's going to go ahead and finish off all of these Lings. And Spore is up in both bases, but Spore doesn't cover something very important. So if this is exploited here by N-Baker, he'll just win the game outright. I mean, he can just kill this gas and be forever ahead in Muta. That's like all he needs to do right now to win. And he's actually got a lot of Muta out. So this is pretty bad situation here for Genji. I would be quite impressed if he could come back from this position, because there's no way he's going to ever regain air superiority. He's just down so many Muta. Let's see if he sees the gap. Oh, he's missing the opportunity to pick off the gas. He's going to get the Overlord, but really he should just go straight for the gas. It is not protected by that Spore, and without that gas, there's absolutely nothing he can do. All right, how's the Patrol Micro? Oh, I think he didn't hit. I think he dodged it. I think he dodged it. And Genji just says GG, realizing there are too many Mutas. And actually, if you have about 6 or 7, you can dive bomb the Spore as well. So he could have just dive bombed the Spore in the main. So, set 1 goes to N-Baker, which will bring us into set 2 on Fighting Spirit. Alright. So, spawning on the right-hand side as our yellow Zerg, we have N-Baker, also known as Tyrant, and on the left side as our red Zerg, we have Genji. And both players seem to have agreed to a actually, no, I take that back. This is overpool here for Genji. Oh, okay, now we're on the right speed. Never mind. Overpool for Genji, and for Tyrant, it is 12 pool. So we should see a hatchery here for Tyrant. Economically, pretty comfortable position for Tyrant to play from. 12 pool is usually pretty nice against 9 pool, or against, what do you call it, overpool. As you do get that second hatchery, and your gas timings are not really that far off, not to mention you're not really in danger of ling pressure either, as the pool timings are relatively similar. I mean, you can see he's starting his lings now. There will certainly be lings out for Tyrant by the time Genji's across the map with his own lings, if he even finds them right away. Speaking of, oh, okay, never mind. I was like, where's the other Overlord? And then I saw. I was like, it should be further along than this. Lings on the way here for Baker. And metabolic speed on the way. Will we see Lair or Ling speed first? Ling speed first. And 2 drones are coming down here. Why are we? Is he really worried? He must be really concerned. Tyrant is just like terrified that he's gonna get bum rushed with lings, which makes 0 sense. He's got an Overlord right there. Why are? Okay, that's no. He sends him back now, but I don't know. That seems like a bit of an overreaction to me. But it's okay. We all have our moments, like yesterday when I was playing against Jealous and he did a fake bunker rush and I pulled like all my drones except for like 2 and chased him like all the way across the map. It was a pretty ridiculous overreaction. Alright, so we got some lings running in from Genji. Can he split him up and go around? Oh, he's going to attack the hatch, but he's not going to get anything done here. 2 hatches for Baker, who should defend this just fine. Looks like he's got a better arc, and with a few more spawning, he's going to take care of these lings, no problem. Now, can he sneak one in? Yes, another buttery ling here. But this time it is for Genji, who has the buttery ling. And trying to get a drone. Pretty good control so far, as long as he doesn't lose it. How long can he keep being obnoxious with this ling for? Lair timings for both players, pretty similar. Second hatch finishing now, and oh, it gets picked off. Alright. A few more lings rallied over here, but not being controlled. Of course, it takes a lot of APM demand to micro lings in multiple places at once, just by itself, and let alone to multiple lings in micro lings in multiple places at once and keep up with macro. Alright, so now the focus here for Genji is on running into this base. Can he block the ramp? Oh, nice defense there from Tyrant, shutting those lings out, and again shutting them out. Good control here from Tyrant. Genji trying his best, but Tyrant right now doing exactly what you need to do, not letting anything in. Spire on the way here for Tyrant. No sign of that, and actually there is a creep colony here, which might come in handy as he's gonna make it into a sunken. I guess he needs it, but he's also gonna need a spore up because he does not have a spire coming. In fact, I don't even know if he really needs the sunken. He's got 2 hatches and a ramp. Honestly, I think the decision to make a oh, okay. These lings get off a free hit, so that's cool. But I think the decision to make a sunken and not turn that into a spore was not the best. So he's going to go ahead and throw down a spire here. But it is a lot slower. Maybe he doesn't need a spore, though. But I'm still not convinced he really needed to make that sunken with 2 hatches and a ramp. Now, if he really is trying to avoid making any more lings, could be something to it, but... And that looks like a killer economy right now. Tyrant's economy is huge. Baker's economy, or Genji's economy, is not. It's like 6 drones versus a saturated main base. Actually, we need one or 2 more, and a half saturated natural. And Muta on the way now, so we'll see how the timings work out here. Oh, he's made a lot of lings, though. Oh, this could be rough. He's not going to have too many larvae for Muta, despite having plenty of gas. So this might, again, turn into... an attempt to win with lings, although I think it was last time we saw... No, Genji tried it last time too, going for the slightly later Muta and trying to win with lings, but this time Tyrant has made a lot more lings, and he also has a few Muta out here to do extra damage, so short of a run by, this should not do much, and in fact he's just going to be chased off, and now in big trouble because, well, he's not going to have Muta. He could chase these lings. I would rather see him just go straight for the base with the Muta, though. They're kind of just idling here right now for Tyrant. I think we'll see them start to swing into action here at some point. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, there we go. And looks like he's trying to get a few out here on the map, maybe a little bit sneakily. He is picking off a few. How much is he going to whittle these down, and how long is he going to take before he goes for the main base? And of course, the second gas is up now. He's mined about 80 of it. Certainly going to be a Ling advantage or a Muta advantage here. And oh, we got some Scourge going across. Maybe hoping to pick off a single Muta spawning. But if he does right now, he uses the Scourge on the Overlord. Not sure if that's really what you want to do at this point. But with 2 Muta here against his 3, he should be okay, especially if he has a Muta or 2 in here or a Scourge. I think he's going to be alright. He could probably even fight. Maybe not. Oh, if there's 4, never mind. This might be bad for him. We'll see. He loses 1. How many are there? Are there 3 or 4? I can't tell. But either way, this fight is not going well for Genji. Scourge popping. Can he get some good Scourge hits off? Will N-Baker have good control? He's got the Scourge pretty far away. If he micros now, it should go okay for him. But it looks like he is a little bit afraid to do that. And we've got some Scourge coming from the side now. A dramatic chase. Is he going to be able to sneak off any hits with these guys? Will Tyrant try to micro? No, he turns away. Oh, and he just decides to kill an Overlord. So now there are 6 or 7 Muta out for Tyrant, who is actively mining from 2 gas, which means that the Muta advantage is soon going to swing in. Well, it already is in Tyrant's favor, but it's going to swing out of control into Tyrant's favor, as 1 gas, obviously, half the Muta count of the other player. So here we go. He's going to go for the kill. He's going for the Lings right now, but he's stopping his Muta, which is super dangerous against the Scourge, but it looks like he just wants to commit to going for an all-in kill right now, and he probably just has the sheer Muta numbers. The Lings could be defended against, I think, but the sheer Muta numbers are just far too many. He'll just target fire down this 1 Muta. Actually, he's just going to target fire the Sunken. I guess that's another way of getting it done, and it looks like 2-0 here for N-Baker. Taking that game comfortably over Genji. Alright, so now what do we have? It looks like we have Hafnium, who I believe is a Protoss, against DNH, who I know is a Terran. And it's going to be on Circuit Breaker, because the first map is on Circuit Breaker. Just for that one Ninja Ling. That Ling in Game 1 was pretty ridiculous. I don't know how. It was like surrounded and got out of like 2 surrounds. Oh, okay, Hafnium. I did not realize Hafnium is Hardtail. Alright, so this is a pretty difficult game for me to decide. Well, first I guess I should introduce the players. In the top left-hand corner, as our Teal Terran, we have DNH, Darknet Hunter, and on the right-hand side, as our Blue Protoss, we have none other than Hafnium, also known as Hardtail. And I have to admit, I've known DNH for a long time. He's a cool dude, but I have a conflict in this game for who to cheer for, because Hardtail, like, I mean, his name, he obviously rides bikes, so that's like a major point in his favor, you know? So I haven't decided who I'm going to root for yet. And we'll have to see how DNH is looking at TVP. I know from what I remember, and I think what he was just saying, is that he generally doesn't feel that comfortable in TVP relative to his other matchups. Oh, I think it was looking like he was going to take a gas. I was like, what? Is this some new super build? I think DNH will be happy with these positions, though, here on Circuit Breaker. I've always found PVT to be particularly hard to play from these positions, because Terran just goes over here, takes this 4th base, and then he can just creep towards your bases. And of course, if you have to expand down this way, it's trickier to defend. You're more spread out. It's just not as natural of an expansion path. So a little bit harder game here for Hardtail. We'll have to see if DNH can capitalize on that, or maybe Hardtail's just going to do something more aggressive once he sees what he's up against. DNH grabbing his gas, and whoa. Somehow I never realized there was this much space on the top of Circuit Breaker. That's crazy. That's like, what, 4 depots? At least 3. I think you can almost hit 4. 1, 2, 3.5, I think. Still, I did not realize there was that much space. Core, gas, no crazy stuff, but honestly, there's really no times as a Protoss where you're gonna go skip core and gas. I mean, you could 2-gate, but man, are you taking a gamble? I mean, I realize today a lot more Terrans open up without a wall, but if you 2-gate and Terran walls, you're just a very, very unhappy Protoss. Alright, so depot, nice little wall here for DNH. And we've got a little bit of gas. Actually, he's already got his factory started, so nice factory timing there. And actually, he's not started making any Marines yet. Zealot out here for hardtail. Oh, whoa, okay, that's interesting. I did not know that. Probe is going to be able to slip on by, which means the Zealot is going to be able to slip on by. And of course, DNH did hold off on making Marines until he started the factory, so he will have one less Marine to deal with the Zealot. Now, he's got good positioning, so as long as he controls, he'll be fine. You know, one regular time Zealot cross map, not that dangerous. Kind of waiting down here with his SCV. Maybe he's going to try to sneak in, or maybe he just wants to hide down here and see the expansion timing. Alright, probe is assassinated. Zlot on the way over. Second Marine is out. Third Marine should be close. 3 is kind of the magic number. Zealots can be defended reasonably comfortably with 3 and easily with 4. 2 is pretty tricky. Oh, he's got to react. Oh, that's not good. So initial reaction from DNH, not good at all. Looks like DNH is building a proxy building, but guess what? Somebody was aware of it, so DNH's opener is already getting messed up badly. And whoa! AI trippiness right now. Holy Batman. That Zealot was just like, it was like he was frozen in ice. He just stood next to the SCV doing nothing, and now it's almost dead. He's got to pull back. Okay, he gets rid of it. Doesn't need to pull back. Alright, so DNH... I guess it's better for DNH though that Hardtail found it that quickly, because he was basically able to be like, okay, it's not happening, cancel the factory. Yeah, it's unfortunate to lose 50 minerals and delay your command center, but he's not like, oh, wow. Okay, that's surprising. I thought he was just going to expand, but it looks like he is going to commit to playing 2-fact. Of course, this will be a very delayed second factory now, since he already tried to build it over on this side of the map, got it shot at, canceled it, and then waited a little bit to place it down. The Nexus, though, is on the way for Hardtail, so it's going to be a question of what he does. If he tries to play greedy from here, or even this could be rough. 1 gate against 2-fact, even a delayed 2-fact, is a little bit dangerous. I mean, let's face it, fact CC fact can cause problems for just expanding off gate robo. So this is still going to be a dangerous situation for Hardtail. If he would have immediately thrown down like 2 gateways and then gotten his robo or something like that, it'd be a little different. But based on what he's doing now, he is going to have a little bit of a defense on his hand. Now, he's should be suspicious and a little bit concerned. Now, this is one thing I do want to mention, though. If you're a Protoss player and you're in this situation right now, like this, you need to be careful. I personally wouldn't do this, because here's the thing. This is a good point just to talk about this, although it's done less often, I guess, nowadays. You're sitting down here. You have your goons down here, right? You know Terran doesn't have an expansion, so you know he's up to something, and there's really only 2 somethings Terran can be up to. Mass facts or fact port. So if it's fact port, and you're sitting right here outside the base, and he comes rolling by with a dropship and drops 4 vultures with mines into your base right now, you literally are going to lose the game, because you have nothing to defend with. He can lay mines everywhere. It's not going to happen, right? You're just way too far out of position to deal with it. So unless you know it's 2-fact, then I would say it's better to keep a probe here and put your Dragoons in a more defensive position, and then the second your probe sees something come down the ramp, then you can move out across the map, because then you know if Terran's coming out, it's not going to be fact port, and then you can come across and defend. Yeah, you can't micro across the whole map, but I think it's better to play that way than risk dying to fact port. But now we go. Micro time. We'll see how the control is for both players. The main thing Terran is going to try to do here is keep those Marines close to the tanks, but also avoid allowing the tanks to be sniped on, dove on by the Dragoons. And of course Protoss is going to try to pick off Marines, work his way back, and then do his best to avoid getting mined up. Although DNH is kind of taking some time, and I don't know if I like the path he's... Okay, maybe he can still go up this way. I think it would be a bad idea to try to go across the bridges. Now, what might be good is if he tries to go across the bridges with his main tanks and then sends the vultures in behind if Terran commits to microing over in this area. That would be clever. Oh, actually, these Dragoons might be caught off, though. This is a pretty dangerous moment right now. Mines are going down. Good moves from DNH here right now. Will these mines go off? Yes, they will, and that is not a good start here for Hardtail, who just lost 4 goons for a few vultures, but he still has a lot of Dragoons out, and of course now he has 3 gates up, because remember, it did take DNH a while to get gathered, and he is going to start forcing him back now. Are there enough units to micro this down? There might be. DNH moving in. I'd like to see him cluster the Marines up a little bit better. Probes are pulled, but it doesn't look like he has vision anywhere else to drill, so it's just a question of, is there enough muscle? This is basically a fight of muscle versus muscle at this point. He's going to take down the pylons. He needs reinforcements over here. Oh, he's going to lose a tank. Oh, a little bit sloppy there from DNH after a good start to this attack. But will there be enough? Okay, he's got a second round of Dragoons popping now. He should be fine if he doesn't make any major micro mistakes. Diving on top of the mines. Nice clear out there. There are no Marines left out. He needs to be a little bit careful, though, because a reinforcement with vultures at this point could cause problems. Needs to get some mines down, and how long is he? All of a sudden, he's gone from a great spot into a bad spot, and it's especially unfortunate because one of his gateways not making units, and DNH now getting aggressive, heading up the ramp, going to try to mine those gateways. Needs to be careful of these probe pulls, especially if they're timed in tandem with the goons popping, but he says GG. I don't know what to say. I think he had that. I think he had that until that last point where he just overextended ever so slightly. So DNH making the delayed 2-fact work out. And it looks like Hafnium has selected Jade to play on for Game 2. So on the left side, as the Teal Terran, none other than DNH. And of course, on the right side, as the Red Protoss, we have Hardtail, aka Hafnium. And yeah, it's a repeat of the spawns of last game. They have not changed their position whatsoever. Just a different map, just different colors. And of course, it's a reverse ramp map, so depending on the opening for Protoss, that can make things a little more interesting. Usually that inspires Terran to go ahead and come up here and either open with, what do you call it, Rax CC, or put a bunker or something up here, because if you just FD and Protoss has a lot of goons, it basically becomes impossible to get up your own ramp. And that is not a good starting position to be in. I'm going to go ahead and make a close pylon. I guess he's going to cluster his gateways down here, given that. Depot for DNH, and we'll pick up the speed here in the early game tempo. Gateway, gas, barracks. Zealot first, no, straight to Dragoons. Second pylon, no sign of a second gateway, no 10-15, no super aggression. Alright, first Dragoon out. Gonna chase down that scouting SCV. And we need an add-on here. We need an add-on. As a very idle factory. He really wanted to keep that SCV alive, I guess. I can only assume that was what was... where's the last shot? Should be able to get it. There we go. Yep, and okay, he's going to go ahead and just start rallying Marines onto this high ground. And he'll... Oh, actually, I guess if he brings them over here, that's interesting. He has seen that there's only one gateway, so I guess he's a little bit less worried. He will get a few early shots off. And he just needs to position these Marines a little bit more carefully. We'll see how he does with this first Dragoon. Alright, walking up. But of course he is downhill from these Marines now, which are going to hold the ramp comfortably. We got tank on the way, we got mine, so very, very standard FD here so far from DNH. And standard 3 Goon Expo from Hafnium. Range about to finish. That will actually give him a little bit of a window here where if he wanted to, he could go up the ramp and micro against these guys. As that tank is not done, but I don't think he's doing that. This Dragoon's over here having a little bit of difficulty. So he's not going to opt for that. Tank is out now, so that window has now passed, and it'll come down to control of the FD here for DNH. Of course, it's also possible that DNH will just say, hey, I'm going to play... Oh, he almost hits it. Oh, this is... Oh. Now if I'm DNH, I'm definitely thinking... I wasn't necessarily planning to be aggressive, but now I am for sure. Of course, DNH seems to be forgetting a few of his Marines. Good spot for Half Team to stop, and it needs to collect those Marines. That is not what you want when you're microing FD. You need to keep the Marines in close to the tank, as close as possible, so that the Dragoons, if they stop to pick off the Marines, they have to eat a tank shot every time. That's how you make FD work successfully. And then, of course, as Terran, if the Dragoons dive onto the tank, you grab just the tank and run it backwards and let the Marines just slaughter the Dragoons with damage. Make Protoss pay for that. 3 gateways, Robo, so pretty standard. SCV, unfortunately I didn't see quite what the SCV saw. And we've got a Vulture coming around the map here for DNH, going a non-standard route to hopefully avoid any Dragoons that might have been positioned on the normal pathway of the Vulture. And he's got his high ground here, he's got a few mines, so he's pretty safe for the moment. Let's see, we've got Observatory. So no clear indication yet. Given that DNH is still on one factory. Oh, never mind, his command center's not done, so that's perfectly normal. I think that might be a little on the slow side for the command center. Maybe not. He's only mined like 20 minerals. Getting siege mode, getting another Vulture out. Should be starting another factory, maybe? Yeah, getting another factory. No sign of eBay, no sign of Academy. Of course, neither are necessary right now, as this is some very standard Protoss play so far. And I like Hardtail's goon positioning overall. He's got a few back here, ready to quickly block this if Vultures were to run by. And then in general, he's ready for just anything coming up onto the high ground. Okay, that's a bit interesting. I'm not exactly sure why. Okay, well, he's going to make a shuttle, so that makes more sense now. So he's going to get some Zealots out so that he can Zealot bomb, and that might be useful because DNH is intending to be aggressive here. Oh man, we'll see how quickly Half Team reacts. He's going to have to pull these Dragoons back, cancel the base, and regather himself with the bridges. This shouldn't be that dangerous of an attack to actually defend, but he's going to need to gather himself. Oh, he's not gathering these goons, though. That could make things a little bit harder. He should have more than enough units to defend, and oh, DNH's tank's really out of position, but there's just no way DNH is going to be able to go up that high ground, and with just one factory, there aren't going to be the reinforcement Vultures to make this attack super dangerous. And unfortunately for him, he actually didn't even really force a cancel on that Nexus. And of course, with the shuttle about to finish, oh, that was a good line. Softening up those Dragoons a lot, and it, oh, DNH, no, oh, Jesus, oh, God. All right, so that's like 3 tanks. Hafnium is suddenly feeling, oh, shit. Welcome to PvT in CPL. Gets an advantage. I mean, at least he stopped there. I was worried he was going to throw away everything. I was going to be like, oh, he just got such a huge advantage, and then he threw away like 8 Dragoons, but he only lost 2. But he's so close to peril. So close to peril that mine could take out these 3 easily. But nice scouting here. Hafnium is getting observers all over DNH's base. Has a complete vision of what is going on right now. And going up to 5 gateways. Do we see a citadel yet? That should be a citadel. Whoa! 9-minute Reavers? Say what? That is also just a really weirdly timed Robo support bay. Like, I don't know what prompted him to decide to go Reaver. That OBS is dead. DNH starts his upgrades. Securing this high ground a little more. Oh, he's only, whoa! He must have really stopped tank production to still only have 1 tank? Dang, that is really going to delay him. I'm still really curious to see what happens with this Reaver. That's like latest possible Reaver ever. I mean, he made the shuttle. He didn't make the robotic support bay until the shuttle had been out for quite some time. So it wasn't planned. It was like he saw something and he decided, oh, I'm going to go Reaver. Either that or he had one of those moments where you like think you build your support bay and then you're too busy doing other shit, and when you look back, you're like, oh, where's my support bay? Well, shit, I better build it. But the fact that he made 4 Zealots tells me that he wasn't intending to go Reaver. So I think something made him decide, hey, I want to get a Reaver. But I don't think he's upgrading speed, so It's not going to be that dangerous of a shuttle. Got an eBay over here. Where is that command center? Or is DNH going to fight? Well, he's got 5 factories. So he's going to go for some aggression. So the Reaver can be useful if it's utilized well, which is not necessarily given. And I'm honestly very surprised DNH is going to opt to still play aggressively, given that he lost those first 3 tanks for free. It's going to have his tank count down very low, and while Protoss gave back a few Dragoons, he only gave back 2 in the end, which is not all that many to give back. DNH actually has an incredible economy, though, for 2 base. Like, that's a lot of SCVs on 2 base with a 5 fact. Alright, so here comes the Reaver, and it does have an opening. And this is going to be pretty annoying for DNH, who realistically wants to push. SCV's now got to run. That could be a decent Scarab, if it decides to blow up, but Scarabs are Scarabs, and in this case does absolutely nothing. So I think DNH is going to be somewhat annoyed by this right now, because he's going 5 fact, he wants to push, but he can't. Although, actually this is weird, because he's gotten 5 fact, which is way more than you need to secure your expansion, but now he's just going to go ahead and expand. Which, yeah, and I guess I also thought it was weird because he did have the armory, and it's unusual to go for upgrades if you're going to do some sort of 2-based attack, but why go to 5 factories? I guess he was just worried because he lost his initial tanks, but extra factories don't help you increase your tank count really any faster. So I would have just made the command center like in my base if I was that worried, defended on the high grounding up in there, although maybe he's still going to move out. And obviously Protoss sees this, has knobs, and here we go, we have an engagement. Oh, that is exactly what you don't want to do with your shuttle, and all of a sudden the situation went from really good to kind of bad for Hafnium, who has donated a lot of units, although he gets some nice kills there on the high ground. He is making zealots. He's got a lot of gateways right now. He's got 8. I keep hearing these battle sounds, but he's backed off. And DNH establishing the 3rd base. It's a lot of gateways, though. I really doubt DNH could make this work. So I guess it's a good thing he is just kind of coming down. But why he didn't just want to sit on this high ground, I don't know. I think sitting on the low ground, there's no real reason to do that. Oh, he scans, but... okay, gets it. Goodbye, Obs. Not mining gas from the 3rd base yet. He'll need that soon if he wants to get his Arbiter tech up and actually be able to afford Arbiters, although he's banked a lot of gas. Alright, so he's going to push towards the 3rd, and I'm a little worried because, again, the positioning is not that great right now for Hardtail, who's getting caught a little bit by the seat of his pants here. DNH now sieging up, and there are still a lot of vultures here, so I don't know if this is going to be the best engagement from Hardtail, and no, it is not. This is not looking good at all. Hardtail needs to get out of here, but unfortunately, yeah, GG. Just a little bit out of position, and that was a bit weird. He had 8 gateways, but didn't end up with that large of an army. Of course, DNH kind of close in resources simply because he had much better production of units, of SCVs. So even with 2 base, with his crazy saturation, he was just about on footing with Hafnium. I have no idea what any of that means. Yeah, he did get Arb and Reaver Tech, which was part of it, but he still had 8 gateways. So, I mean, if he had the money to invest in 8 gateways, unless he just put up gateways and, like, hadn't been macroing out of them the entire game. You know, but I mean, he had a decent army, and part of it was that first engagement with DNH was pretty rough too. So honestly, what I would say for Hafnium is it looks like his builds are okay, and he's getting into okay spots, but then he's having usually a bad engagement or something like that that's kind of undoing him, or just not quite reading and adapting to his opponent just right. So in the top corner we have MLTY, and in the bottom corner we have Snowfruit. MLTY plays True Random, Snowfruit obviously plays Zerg. And MLTY, I can tell you what he's going to do within reason. He's going to do something super aggressive, and yeah, I mean, this is ZVZ. I have not, admittedly, not seen him play ZVZ, but I have seen, like, I don't know, now 8 or 9 games of his, and every game has been extremely aggressive. The closest I've seen to him come to doing any sort of macro game was in some game where he did like 3 hatches, and it looked like it was maybe going to be macro, and then he just like made a boatload of lings and tried to ling all in. That's the closest I've seen to a macro game from LTY, and every other game has been literally like 2 gate or 4 pool or BBS or whatever. And this game might be the same story. It's looking like he's going to 9 hatch, which is an interesting build. It's very rush oriented if it's done right. Usually it's like 9 hatch, 9 pool, 9 overlord, and you can get out an absolute ton of lings with quite quick ling speed. And the other danger is a lot of players, especially at like D and maybe even C level, will not necessarily pick up on the read, and they'll just see a hatch and they'll think, oh, 12 hatch, and they'll like come up expecting to, you know, be all dangerous with pressure, and then all of a sudden you have these fast speed lings, and it causes them a lot of problems. Or they misread you and think, oh yeah, I'm safe from lings, and you're producing lings all of a sudden faster than you expect from 2 hatches, and they die to it. So it's really a question, mostly for Snowfruit, of does he read what this is and react in time? Because if he's slow to react, slow to get a sunken, he'll be in trouble. And I'm just kind of assuming it's going to be Ling Rush, because that's what would make sense. Now, I don't entirely like the decision to get Overlord before the gas, because you just don't need it that fast. You can utilize all your larvae even if you get gas before Overlord. But that's alright. Yeah, so this should be finishing. Usually these finish about in tandem, and you can just instantly go to 8 lings. So it should be lings from here. And then what he should do is get 100 gas, and then take his drones off once he has his gas, and then just spam lings. Lings are on the way for Snowfruit. So this is where Snowfruit might be surprised, and it might dawn on him, because these lings are going to spawn, of course, by the time he gets here, and he's going to be like, how did he do that? Now, as long as the control from MLTY is okay, Snowfruit will be in absolutely no trouble. Alright, so okay, now I should take 1 off. Oh, he's doing this very nicely. Alright, this one comes off now. Oh, okay, I guess he's going to let it finish. And where is the status of his... Oh, wow, okay, this is really dangerous for Snowfruit if he doesn't go back home fairly soon, because then he's going to get caught out by way too many lings that will have ling speed. And I think he's realizing that now, and he's going to go ahead and go home. He needs to put up a sunken colony, especially against this build. If he doesn't, he's going to be in crisis mode. What? I guess he thinks he's got, because he's got 2 hatchery, I guess he thinks he's safe. But, oh man, if this is... Either he's super confident in his link control against MLTY, which right now I guess it seems like he has reason to be, because he had way better control, or he's just misreading this. Because if MLTY had the same link control as Snowfruit, it would be a really easy win from MLTY in this position. However, it appears that Snowfruit has better control, and MLTY is not really abusing this correctly, although he needs to get his link speed done. And then he'll have an opportunity. I'm still really worried for Snowfruit. Now, if this hatch kicks in and MLTY keeps donating lings, then Snowfruit is going to take this super easily. But I like the fact that MLTY isn't fighting with all of his lings or waiting for his speed is really bad, and I think he's just going to allow Snowfruit to defend this. It's close, but the reinforcements are going to be faster, and again, with control, this is the danger. Now, the 3rd hatch is up, so there's kind of this little window here. If Snowfruit basically holds 1 fight, he will stabilize and win pretty comfortably, but if he's careful right now, he'll be able to defend this, because he does have 3 hatches of lings, and even with the ling speed advantage, it should still be enough raw ling power to get work done. But this is what I'm talking about. If this spirals just a little bit, the situation can get bad. And honestly, I think MLTY could play this either way. I think he could just kind of camp these popping lings and win that way. So we'll see how he can do with his reinforcing of lings. He's going to town on this hatch. If he gets this hatch, it should be MLTY's game to lose. Now we're seeing no creep colony, so Snowfruit obviously being confident. MLTY, though, is getting on top of those lings pretty quickly, bringing a few more over, and he just needs to keep reinforcing. Yeah, I should bring them in, but he's doing a good job. But can he spiral? Can he get this hatch? It's kind of a pivotal point right now here. He's working on this hatch, and if he gets it, you know, obviously that's 2 hatch against 2 hatch with no ling speed from Snowfruit, who is now, I guess, giving up the natural. and is just going to try to stabilize at the main, but he is not making a... That is really interesting. Alright, where's more lings? He needs more lings. Oh, he can sandwich these. This should be good for MLTY right now. Snowfruit, yeah, taking way too much damage from this, and GG. So yeah, Snowfruit needed to pick up on what was happening there a little bit more, a little bit quicker, and respond differently. You know, the third hatch idea, I mean, I'm wondering if that could have worked if he would have just made a nice arc and controlled. I'm still a little skeptical of that, had MLTY controlled better, but then also as that initial fight happened, it just kind of snowballed out of Snowfruit's reach. You know, he had that moment where he had 3 hatches, but MLTY did a good job staying at those hatches, picking off lings, and basically trading better than evenly. And after a point and weakening that hatch, it was just kind of snowballed out of control. So in this game, in the top corner as our Teal Protoss, we have MLTY. And in the bottom right-hand corner as our Brown Zerg, we have Snowfruit. And MLTY is going to either proxy gate in the center, or he's going to 2-gate in his base. Which one? Wait and find out. Yeah, pretty much what Hamtaro said. He added the sunk too late. Yeah, Evil Eye. He's a true random player, and like in this league, like if you play, that's obnoxious shit. It's gonna tab me out too. So that's actually the. I mean, if you're playing random, you're not expected to shout. So that's totally acceptable. You know, that's, you know, it's fair. If the league allows random, I would say if the league allows random, and that's obviously can be a contentious issue, but if the league allows random, I don't think you should shout. Otherwise, there's no reason to play random in a league. Like the entire reason you'd select random for a league play is to have the advantage of, because you are at a disadvantage from having to know 9 matchups. So the only advantage to you and would be whatever. So if you had to shout it, it'd be pointless. Now, if you want to disagree with the league organizer for allowing random, I think that's a fair case. But to give MLTY crap for picking random, nah. Or for not shouting, no, I don't think he's responsible for that. 2-gate, like I said, 2-gate. So it's a question of can Snowfruit react against the 2-gate. He's getting a fast pool though, which honestly I find harder against 2-gate. I would much rather 12 hatch. Like, I feel incredibly confident against 10-12 gate with a 12 hatch, whereas now if it's 9-9, that's a different story. But trying to defend 10-12 with the pool first, it takes longer to get the extra lever from the hatchery, and it requires a much more precise defense. So we are going to get a Zlot, and obviously some... Oh, that's not good. There we go. That's a bit sloppy, though. If you're going to go for 2-gate, you've really got to keep your build and production tight. So he's got Zealots popping out. Should start to kind of aggregate them. Okay. Oh, okay. He's probably just going to try to build more gateways down here. Or possibly a forge or battery or something, but honestly this is probably just for gateways. But it is scouted. It's really interesting. I'll be honest though, like, I mean, I don't have anything against all-ins, cheese, whatever you want to call it, but I don't really understand why you'd play this every single game of the tournament. I mean, maybe this is actually what you like to do, but I don't know. I sure feel like boring-ass games to me. And like I said, I mean, he's done this every single game now for 10 or 15 games, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Number one, because it's not good. If everybody just knows what build you're going to do, it's not good. And number two, it's just not an interesting way to play, I guess. I mean, all right, if he enjoys it, all props to him, but I don't know too many people that like to just proxy gate or 2-gate all the time. All right, so Snowfruit taking this pretty seriously is going to go ahead and throw up 2 sunken colonies. Okay, he's pulled these drones off. He's got 4 Zlots coming in. He's got 2 sunkens. He's totally safe now. This rush is basically over. The only possible danger for Snowfruit at this point would be if what do you call it? MLT. Okay, he's going to try to run by, but it looks like Snowfruit has that blocked. He read that well. He's going to surround these zealots. They're going to get absolutely shredded to death. They might get a sunken colony, but probably not even one. Nope. So immediately shredded. And now, like I said, the only possible danger would be if MLTY just spams zealots and Snowfruit just decided to go nuts with making drones and nothing else. Trying to add some extra pylons and gates, but not going to happen, and MLTY says GG. And we'll go to a final game between the two. So, spawning in the top corner as the blue Protoss, we have MLTY, and on the left side as the brown Zerg, we have Snowfruit. Gateway 1, should be Gateway 2 here soon. Gateway 2. Now the only thing I don't understand is obviously Snowfruit MLTY plays super all in. So if you're going to play super all in, why not just proxy gate and 9-9? Like 10-12 gate made in your main is not that aggressive of a build. You know, like any Zerg should be able to hold that unless you're just vastly superior with your control and they don't play too greedy. Now 9-9 gate is a totally different scenario. That is always difficult to hold, really almost no matter what build you do, unless Zerg makes a pool so fast and scouts the gateways and actually can just like kill the initial zealots and get the pylon or whatever. But outside of that, you know, if you're going to go for an all-in, and you know he's going to all-in, like, why not 9-9 gate? So he's going to get a third gateway this time, so he's going to play pure muscle. So, honestly, all Snowfruit has to do is get some sunks down, and of course, well, okay, never mind, he can't get sunks down. This could be a little bit of an interesting game, then. He's just going to try to do it with Lings, so shouldn't really be able to do any damage should Snowfruit. But if MLTY were to micro sloppy or not respond well with his probes, he could take a lot of damage and just end up really far behind here. And I mean, because he's going to have Lings running around in his base for a long time right now. Trying to get some drilling going on with the probes, and of course with the zealots there, it's really hard to get the Lings to attack efficiently. And with 3 gateways, there are obviously going to be a lot of zealots. So I think what Snowfruit's game plan is going to be most likely, if he has the APM to do it, which he may not, would just be to keep running around with these Zerglings, keep flooding them in, and just being super obnoxious to MLTY, and basically never let MLTY come out of his base until Snowfruit's well on the way to whatever plan he has in mind. Now, the one concern Snowfruit has, though, is that MLTY is amassing a lot of zealots, and Snowfruit has opted to place a very late natural hatchery with no tech, meaning that he's not going to be able to make Sunkens at his natural. And okay, we don't even know who won. That was weird as fuck. Okay, anonymous winner. Anonymous winner. I don't. I'm gonna have to go like back and look at that. I don't think we have any conclusive evidence who was winning that game. Evil Eye seems pretty confident that Zerg left, which honestly I would feel like probably that was good for MLTY given how late the hatchery was, but I don't know why he would have left then. Protoss hadn't even moved out, and you know you're playing against like an all-in Protoss that does nothing but all-in. Just make 2 sunken colonies in a good spot, tech, and like win with your first couple mutas or whatever, you know? I have to see this. Alright, so we know this shit happened. It was like around 3 something, like shortly after these Lings died. Alright, so we got a shit ton of zealots. We got Lings running around. It was like right when they were attacking some slot at this base. I guess he was thinking he like had to kill them with Lings, and then it was like right now that he left. Okay, so yeah, the position is not good. but like economically they're equal. He is getting hatchery. He's probably not going to be able to keep the hatchery, but he'd absolutely be able to put up some defense, grab his gas, start going from some sort of tech, and work his way back into the game, which, you know, you can tell your opponent's not super strong mechanically. You're advantaged, you're favored, you know, if the game goes longer. So I don't know. I'm pretty surprised that Zerg left there. I would have at least made Protoss come and kill me and tried to get something going from that position. You know, if my opponent was Michael or something like that, it would be maybe a little bit different, but in this case, I don't know. Too early. Protoss did not go 9-9. Protoss went 10-12. He's never done 9-9. I would like to see him do 9-9 since he's just playing all-in builds. But so in the top corner, as our teal Zerg, we have Pro Forward, and in the bottom corner, as our blue Terran, we have Diarrhea Terran, who unfortunately is not spawning in brown as should be. So we have 12 hatch for Zerg, we have our barracks for Terran, and then we can slow things down a little bit to actual game speed. So pool for Zerg, getting the hatchery up. And I don't actually know for sure how strong either of these players are. Apologies if I'm selling you short, but I think Pro Forward is like low D+ level. I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. And Diarrhea Terran, I'm not sure about. Apparently, from what I was hearing, insider information, is that he used to be pretty active and, you know, like, I guess sea level, something like that, back when he was playing more, but he hasn't played in a long time, so he's kind of relearning the game. Alright, so fueling's out. I'm gonna chase this around. So far, Pro Forward looks just fine though. Nothing looking too off about the build yet. Command center on the way. Got a barracks. Gas, no engineering base, so it'll be interesting to see what he builds first. If it's going to be the +1. Oh, that was a big mistake. Okay, so we have our first huge mistake of the game. Don't do this, guys. Don't do this. Really is not good. So that's going to set him, unfortunately, way far behind. And he did not plan for that eventuality either. It's not terrible. He did get his Overlord up okay, but that Overlord got nothing. Like, if you need to sack an Overlord to see what Terran's doing, okay, so he's going to be +1 5-Rex. You know, it's one thing to do that, but this is not the flight path you take for a desperation Overlord sack. Fueling's coming down here to try to get a read on what Terran is doing. Oh, is he going to actually make it back to the base with this SCV? How obnoxious. How utterly obnoxious. Oh, he gives up the oh, the hesitation. Alright, so he's going to get a nice full scout off. That is going to put, well, actually I like this. This is beautiful. And goodbye. Nice move there by. But, no, what he doesn't have, because he turned all his links back around to chase, he doesn't see this coming, and he is going to walk right into it, so it might be Diarrhea Terran's chance to return the favor. Oh, he's actually on move command. Yikes. Alright, now, okay, he's just going to keep walking. He's comfortable. He's got a Marine there. He's got 2 Marines on the ramp. This should be fine. And he's making, what the hell? What the fuck? I have no idea what is going on there. I guess he wants to hold his ramp, but he's gonna, like, that's, I don't even, he's gonna hold this just fine. Trying to pick off a drone, only gets 1, so he doesn't get a whole lot out of that. But he forces 2, oh, okay, Imran. That was only 1. I thought that was 2, so that's not quite as ridiculous as I thought. But still, this is, like, not useful. I mean, it would be like something you would do if you were really worried about holding your ramp, but losing your hatchery. If you were gonna just totally give up, you would not want to lose your hatchery because you'd be so far behind. So don't put creep colony here against Marines. Either that or some kind of interesting thinking to protect his spire, and he was worried that he would get his spire sniped. I guess there's that possibility. I'm still not sure that a sunken colony is the right decision for that, but hey. Alright, so we got our overlords out. He's actually one overlord shy, but we should see some mutas start to pop out. And these guys are going to go work. And in the meantime, Marine's coming out. We got +1 pretty close to being done. Range is about to finish up as well. Turret coming up for Diarrhea Terran. And drone's having some difficulty getting back to where they need to be. And here come the first muta. Looks like he has about 5 out right now. Is he going to continue? Yes, he's going to continue with the production. It looks like he also got a little bit low on gas since... yeah, well, obviously he is, because he had to run away from the natural. And he's only mining right now with 1 drone. It's important to notice. So this is really unfortunate for Pro Forward, because you need gas in this matchup. I mean, if you want to make... I mean, he's not even able to get muta out because of that lack of gas. He's definitely not going to have gas to afford lurkers. It's just going to put him in a really uncomfortable spot. Like, you can see he's ages away from his lurker, and he's only mining with 1 gas. So he's just going to be looking at it and being like, what is going on? Hopefully he'll realize at some point, like, why do I only have 80 gas? Not able to get a full flock of muta out either. So he doesn't really have that much ability to harass with the mutalisks. And now Diarrhea Terran's going to go ahead and move on the map. Should have no trouble denying this base. Does need to be a little bit careful with these guys, but he'll see him now. Should stem and kill them. Ah, don't let your Marines die. Alright, there we go. Pulls those guys back. And whoa, he runs back at him. But those are taken care of. And now it looks like he is going to opt to do a little bit of harassment with the mutas, but Diarrhea Terran is just headed straight across the map to go shut down that 3rd base, which he certainly will do. Has Pro Forward rectified the situation? Unfortunately, the answer is no. So this is just awful for Pro Forward, who is getting no gas right now. Only 4 guys out of 6 mining gas right now. Muta flying over. Just going to dive into the base. Can he get anything done? He's got a spot where he can do a little bit of damage here. So he should stick around and get a few kills, and then hopefully he'll just fly out across the turrets. But he needs to be careful. Now he needs to run. You don't want to fight here, but he's going the wrong way. He's going to take incredible damage on his muta. In fact, I think they are all going to die here. We can see the army moving up to kill the 3rd. Although Diarrhea Terran is having some difficulty getting back here. And this is doing more damage than I expected. But of course it's going to cost him all of his mutalisks and his 3rd base. So huge overcommitment there from Pro Forward. Not really something you want to do with your muta. Don't make that mistake. He's getting up a few sunken colonies over here. Don't, like, if you dive bomb him to get the SCVs, like, that's fine. Like, dive bomb, kill some SCVs. As soon as the Marines start to get close, then you just fly out over these turrets, and that's fine to do. He's got a lot of lings here, but these are going to get destroyed by these Marines, so he needs to run away. A few go the wrong direction, and this drone also should probably go back. Still hasn't rectified the situation. He's banking a little bit of gas, but I think that's because he's only made a couple Hydra. Yeah, no chance he has Queen's Nest or Hive or any upgrades. And now a ton of Marines are going to be coming over to hang out at the doorsteps of Pro Forward space, and those Zerglings doing absolutely nothing. And now, of course, he's going to be more or less contained, and unfortunately, in that position, he's just going to be sitting back in his natural until a tank and vessel shows up, and because his Hive is so late, there's no way he'll be able to defend. Actually, he's in danger of just getting killed right here before his lurkers pop. I think all Diarrhea Terran has to do now is spread, and he'll kill these lurkers easily once they finish morphing, especially with these reinforcements. And I think this game is going to go pretty comfortably to Diarrhea Terran. Just needs to throw down that scan, spread those Marines a little bit more, but oh, that was the wrong way to spread. But I think he'll still have enough to muscle this down, although he is not microing against this at all, and his scan runs out, so miraculously, Pro Forward defense. That's one way to defend the your opponent doesn't micro defense. He did morph this into a sunken to kind of help these lurkers. So I guess in some way it maybe came in handy, although it actually hasn't done anything yet. Honestly though, had I been Diarrhea Terran, I might have just sat back and said, hey, this guy doesn't have a Hive. He's completely contained. There's nothing he can do. I'm just going to camp his front, with these Marines and wait for my tank and vessel and kill him then. Of course, he's still got a lot of Marines. He still kind of has the contain. The gas situation is still not rectified. Actually, maybe it is now. Although he's only rectified it with 1 drone. He's only got 2 on there right now. So he's still low on gas. Still no sign of any further tech, and it's not a position you can do anything with him. I'm surprised he's even bothering to kill this hatchery, especially sending a tank over there. So we'll speed it up a bit. We should have a vessel out here anytime now. Oh, he's actually just making a dropship. I guess that's another way to get things done, but I would just make a vessel and end it. He's going to go ahead and get this bridge, but he can still walk up here. He could actually do some cute little surround coming up over the bridge, sending a few Marines this way, a few Marines that way. Alright, we're going to move down, and we're actually going to walk right past the Marines, who will move into a very annoying spot. Oh, the Lurker's Burrow, though. That's good. We will kill all those. Obviously, the 3rd base goes down, and Diarrhea Terran having a bit of trouble here. He's bringing this dropship up. Hopefully we'll see that load up here fairly soon. And unfortunately for Pro Forward, just 41 supply at this point. Dropship is loaded up and heading over here to the natural. In the meantime, some Zerglings trying to sneak around, but unfortunately there's a bunch of Marines here, so these cannot get anything done. Pure Zergling just doesn't fight well. Now, will he get a spread off? Oh my god, that's going to do a lot of damage. Okay, there we go. There's the spread we needed earlier. Down go the Lurkers, and of course now there's the drop behind this mineral. Okay. Not sure he needed to pick up. And I think Diarrhea Terran didn't realize how close Pro Forward was to being dead, but Pro Forward just goes ahead and says GG. So yeah, I don't know. Pro Forward honestly was just never even had a chance in that game without the guys on gas. There's just no way. And I would not recommend flying in and committing that heavily with Muta. It's one thing, like I said, flying in, sniping SCVs, that's fine. Just go ahead and get out of there. Like, it's not that big of a deal to fly over 3 turrets. So if you've gone for that, you're in good shape. So, spawning in the top left-hand corner as our purple Terran, we have Diarrhea Terran. And in the bottom left-hand corner as our teal Zerg, we have Pro Forward. So what builds will we see here? It looks like it's going to be 9 pool speed from Pro Forward. Okay, I should say 9 pool gas, but I don't think you don't usually see too many 1-hatch layer builds in the ZVT. I guess you could do like a 1-hatch, 2-hatch alert kind of thing. Gonna have a double racks response here from Diarrhea Terran. He wants to make sure he is safe. SCV being a little bit annoying. Okay. Chasing it around a little bit. Lings are out. And, oh, okay, he gets that. Now he should take these guys off gas. Doesn't need all this gas. Maybe he still wants to get a lair and just go from 9 full speed into some weird 1-hatch Muta. I honestly would have no idea how effective. Oh, Pro Forward. He's going to get lucky. I say lucky, I mean, you know, Diarrhea Terran can't afford to come down and chase it, but don't fly overlords into the base. If you are that worried about paying attention to them, just send them here. Don't let them fly in, because losing that overlord is so rough. Oh, the Marines! They need to be closer to their SCV buddies. There's a little bit of potential to break up the ramp like that. Speed on the way. He is getting 1-hatch lair. He's going to go 1-hatch lurker. I like it. So this will be a question of basically turrets, and can he slow him down a little bit and flush this out. Like, if he doesn't know this is coming, there is a very high probability Diarrhea Terran could die to this. And of course he doesn't have the ability to scout, and unless Pro Forward were to throw away all of these Lings, which is actually nice repair though, there won't be any way for Diarrhea Terran to scout, and if he burns a scan, that's going to be really bad for him. So let's see how quickly he gets those lurkers going. Oh, he's actually going to move out. Oh man, so he's actually going to be able to move out right now. And the lurker is not started, so this build is getting worse at a very, very ominous rate. I don't even know what's happening here. That lurker was like incredibly late. It was probably late enough to like nullify the advantage, the danger of 1-hatch lurk. Nice little sneak around here with the Lings though. That's definitely going to cause some problems for Diarrhea Terran, although he reacts very quickly. Alright, so we got some wings running in. They are going to pick off... no, they're not. They're actually just going to run around and apparently not do anything. One SCV. Can we get more? Doesn't look like it right now. Gonna go hide in the corner. SCV's going to lose that fight. He realizes, yep, I can't win that. But now these guys are coming in, and it looks like we are at the throes of GG here. I don't see a way to defend these Marines with the tiny amount of drones, and he's obviously not going to have any time to morph to lurkers. And there it is, GG. Diarrhea Terran takes the 2-0 victory over Pro Forward. And I think that is all the games we had for today, right? 3, 4, yes it is. So that is all of Magical Ponies against... shoot. Assimilate. Assimilate. So let's see. Let's see. I guess we can just look at the stats or the standings and see who was actually on which team. You guys probably already know. So it looks like that was a 4-1 win for Magical Ponies. As, yeah, Magical Ponies is Darknet Hunter, N Baker, Boston, and Pebble all with the wins. Diarrhea Terran taking out the lone victory for Team Assimilate. So, thanks to everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time. Unless, of course, there's any questions or anything else that is worth talking about. Snowy Cutie says, Zerg is a true noob, unlike all the pretenders in this league. Except this league isn't a league just for pure noobs. It's a league for anybody that's like around CC minus and below. So yeah, there's a few people that are a little bit on the strong side, but you know, it's a learning league. It's honestly the truth is, if you make a league that's just for like true D minus or maybe even D minus D players, it's really hard to keep participation up because most of them are like new enough to Brood War that like maintaining continuity and motivation and stuff like that, like it's not a big enough deal yet, and you end up with a lot of inactive people. I know we had problems with that in the initial D leagues, and that's actually part of the reason why over time, part of it was because people that were playing initially and wanted to keep playing got better, but part of it was because you ended up with a lot more stable league if you allowed in a few more C- players that were kind of stuck around and known. But yeah, thanks for watching, and more casting will be happening at some point. I can't promise you that there will be any more during the week, but certainly next weekend and 100% the weekend thereafter, because then I'll be finally done with my big school stuff. So, until next time, adios, ladies and gentlemen.